World leaders are closing in on Donald Trump, and he's stepping right into their trap. The stakes are higher than you think. This isn't just about military exercises or politics. Greenland is now the center of a dangerous game, and the outcome could reshape global power forever. But here's the twist. It's not just Trump playing here. If you think this is only about territory, think again. Stick with me, because this story is just getting started. What if I told you that this isn't just about Trump trying to take Greenland? There's a much bigger game being played behind the scenes. Right now, military forces from all over Europe are gathering in Greenland, not just for training, but to send a clear message to the U.S. The question is, why now? Why is the world suddenly preparing for a potential invasion by the United States? And why does this matter to you? The answer lies in a carefully orchestrated plan that could drastically change how global power structures work. So let's break this down, because trust me, this is more than just a clash over one frozen island. It's not just talk. This is happening right now. Troops from Germany, France, Norway, the UK, and Sweden are on the ground in Greenland, preparing for a scenario no one expected. But here's the thing. The US isn't just being outplayed in the Arctic. It's being outmaneuvered on the global stage. One key moment proves this. When Donald Trump demanded Greenland, he wasn't just talking about territory, he was playing with fire. And now, world leaders are making it clear they're ready to retaliate. If you think they're backing down, you're wrong. Notice what they didn't deny. They're preparing for a U.S. invasion, and that's a whole new level of risk. It's getting worse. Europe isn't just reacting, they're preparing for a full-scale showdown. When you think about it, this isn't the first time the U.S. has faced global opposition. Remember the Cold War? A time when every military move had to be calculated. But now, in 2026, the world is more unified than ever before, and they're starting to see Trump as a threat, not just to Greenland, but to the very stability of international relations. What's even more alarming is how quickly this tension has escalated. A few years ago, European leaders were willing to make deals with Trump. Fast forward to today, and they're publicly calling for resistance. And here's where it all hits. This isn't just about military power, it's about the future of global leadership. And right now, Trump is losing that battle. The real shocker, the contradictions are piling up. On one hand, you have Trump pushing for military dominance, demanding tariffs on any country that doesn't support his Greenland invasion. On the other hand, Europe is already securing strategic deals that put the U.S. at a disadvantage. Take Canada, for example. While Trump is focused on Greenland, Prime Minister Carney is making moves with China, signing massive trade agreements that will leave the U.S. behind. And here's the kicker. Carney isn't the only one. French President Macron is ramping up defense spending, positioning Europe to be stronger than ever. What does that say about the U.S.? While Trump focuses on a frozen island, Europe is forging alliances that could isolate America for years to come, and that's something the White House can't ignore. And it doesn't stop there. In just a matter of days, things have spiraled out of control. First, you have the military buildup in Greenland. Then, the economic moves. Canada partnering with China, France doubling defense spending. Now you've got Trump threatening tariffs on any country that doesn't support his Greenland push. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, here comes the biggest shock. NATO's cracks are starting to show. With countries like Denmark making it clear they won't let Trump just take Greenland, the alliance is fraying at the edges. What happens if this continues? Well, it could lead to the most significant realignment of global power in decades. The U.S. risks becoming a pariah state in its own backyard, and that's something no one saw coming. But here's where this story hits home. It's not just about military strategies or trade deals. It's about real people, real consequences. When world leaders make moves like this, it impacts everyday lives. Imagine how it feels for someone living in Greenland, caught between these global powers. Imagine the families in the U.S. whose livelihoods are at risk because of a trade war over an island. And it's not just Greenland. It's everywhere. The average person is feeling the pressure as resources are diverted, priorities shift, and promises are broken. You're being told one thing, but reality looks different. If this feels familiar, say so in the comments. This isn't just a game of global chess, it's your life on the line. Now let's step back and see the bigger picture. This isn't just about Trump or Greenland. It's about a system that's built on leverage, spectacle, and fear. The reason these countries are acting the way they are is because they've learned how to play the game. They understand the value of making the U.S. feel threatened, of keeping Trump distracted. This isn't just military or economic strategy. It's about manipulating power dynamics. Leaders are using fear as a tool to force the U.S. into submission, and it's working. The question is, Why is this happening? Why is the U.S. so vulnerable? It's because, at its core, the systems that are supposed to protect the country are eroding. And that's something no amount of tariffs or military action can fix. So what happens next? There are two paths this could take, and both are risky. First, we could see the world continue to fracture, with the U.S. becoming more isolated as Europe and China build stronger alliances. The focus will shift away from Greenland, but the damage will be done. Or, on the flip side, Trump could double down, pushing for even more aggressive actions, leading to a full-blown geopolitical crisis that no one is ready for. The key thing to remember here, momentum. Once the ball starts rolling, there's no telling where it will stop. And with tensions escalating every day, the next move is already taking shape. Here's the deep insight you need to take away. This isn't about Greenland. It's about control. It's about power. And right now, the U.S. is losing both. The bigger question is, who will fill the void? Europe, China, or will the U.S. step back into the game with a strategy that makes sense? The game is changing fast. And one thing's for sure, there's no turning back. This is just the start. If you want to keep up with the next twist in this story, subscribe and stay tuned. This isn't over. This